Welcome. Today we're diving into a really powerful path to healing that you can find in just two little words: look and live. Now, it's an idea that asks us not to look inward at our own wounds, but to look upward toward a divine remedy. So let's explore what that really means.
We all have these moments, don't we? Times when we feel totally lost, like we're just wandering in a spiritual desert. It's such a universal feeling, that sense of searching for direction when the path ahead just seems empty and unclear. And so often the source of this wandering, it isn't something out there. It actually comes from within us. It's that impatience we feel with the journey, those frustrations that turn into complaints, the choices we make that kind of create this distance between us and God. These are the self-inflicted wounds that leave our spirits feeling truly worn out. But there is an answer, and it's not some complicated formula or a 10-step plan. It's a really simple invitation, a single, powerful action. Look upon the one who is lifted up and live. This is the core idea we're going to unpack today, the incredible healing power of simply looking up.
Okay, so before we can find the remedy, we have to diagnose the problem, right? This whole journey of healing, it always starts with a moment of real, honest self-awareness, acknowledging our spiritual dissatisfaction and our deep need for true reconciliation. This is what it feels like to have an afflicted soul. It's when our prayers feel kind of empty, when we're tempted to think that God has just hidden his face from us. It's a restlessness that, let's be honest, no worldly distraction can satisfy. Recognizing this ache, this feeling, is the very first step toward letting God heal it. To really understand the solution God offers, we're going to look back, way back, to an ancient story from the Old Testament. It's a fascinating story that gives us a perfect pattern, a physical sign of the spiritual healing that we're all looking for today. So here's the crucial point. The Israelites are in the desert, and they're complaining against God. As a consequence, they get bitten by these venomous serpents. But God doesn't just snap his fingers and make the snakes disappear. He provides this really strange and specific remedy. He tells Moses to make a bronze serpent and raise it up on a pole. But the healing wasn't automatic. To be saved, every single person had to make a choice. They had to look at it. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, how this ancient sign finds its ultimate meaning thousands of years later. We're about to connect the dots between the Old Testament and the New to see how that bronze serpent was actually a prophecy pointing directly to Jesus Christ. And this just illustrates the connection so perfectly. The bronze serpent on that pole, it was a temporary fix for a physical problem. But Jesus, the Son of Man, being lifted up on the cross, well, that's the eternal remedy for the spiritual venom of sin that affects all of humanity. It's the exact same pattern, but with an infinitely greater scope and power. Okay, this is so important. When Jesus says, "I am," he's not just introducing himself. No way. He is claiming the very name of God, the same holy name that was revealed to Moses at the burning bush. He's declaring that he isn't just a prophet or a good teacher. He is the eternal God, the source of all being, the ultimate reality we can look to for life itself. So, if looking is the answer, what does that actually look like for us today? This next part is all about the practical how-to, the internal posture, that shift in focus we need to make to move from staring at our own wounds to gazing upon the remedy. The journey really follows this beautiful, simple flow. It starts with just being honest, admitting we need help. Then comes the pivotal action, the upward gaze. This means we intentionally stop just thinking over and over about our own failures and instead turn our attention to Christ on the cross. And this isn't a one-time fix. It's a daily choice to believe and to accept the healing that he's offering. Just like it was for the Israelites in the desert, our healing requires us to participate. It's not passive. Faith is an active, conscious decision. It's an act of the heart, a moment of deep trust where we look at the cross and say, "I entrust my wounds, my fears, my entire life to you." And this act of looking, this daily choice, it doesn't just stay some big theological concept. It fundamentally changes how we live our lives. It actually transforms our character and shapes our actions out in the world. You see, when we consistently look to Christ, our spiritual lives start to bear real fruit. Our prayers become so much more authentic because they're coming from a place of genuine need. We develop the virtue of courage, the strength to speak the truth with love. And our holiness grows as all those little daily complaints and frustrations get transformed into opportunities for trust. And we have such powerful examples of this. I mean, think of someone like St. Oscar Romero. He was an archbishop who saw the suffering of his people, and he chose to speak the truth about injustice, even when it was incredibly dangerous. He gazed upon Christ and found the courage to live a life of virtue, a life of love and action, no matter what it cost him. Okay, so how can we make this real right here, right now? This isn't just about information, it's truly an invitation. Here is a simple, tangible first step you can take on this journey of healing today. Just think about it for a second. What is that one thing, that recurring frustration, that nagging impatience, that area where you just resist trusting God? It doesn't have to be some huge thing. Just pick one specific thing. Now, the next time you see a crucifix, maybe it's in your home, in a church, or even just a picture of one, take that specific complaint and just silently offer it up. In that one moment, you are physically and spiritually reenacting that upward gaze. You are looking away from the problem and toward the solution. And as you do that, you can use this simple, powerful prayer. It's an act of faith, it's an acknowledgement of His divinity, and it's a direct request for healing. Let this be your prayer right now in your heart. Jesus, I believe that you are the I am. Heal me. This practice of looking and living, it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's a daily choice to turn our eyes toward the cross, because that's where we find our healing, our strength, and our very life. So, what one wound will you entrust to Him today?